Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. It's your boy Rundy right here, and I'm back with another video. So I just wanted to update you guys on the winter storm that is going on right now, or is shaping up to go ahead and start across Texas and you folks in Oklahoma. I would say if you guys watched my video yesterday, I was saying eastern parts of eastern North Carolina, like 20 counties, were not under any winter weather watches, warnings, or advisories. It was under a hazardous weather outlook, but they took it away for some counties. But as of today, eastern North Carolina is not under winter storm advisories at the moment. So don't know if it was a shift in the storm, but just wanted to update you guys on that. If you guys are in the area or live in the eastern counties in North Carolina, make sure you check your National Weather Service, and so you can stay up to date to what's going on. So prayers to you folks that's gonna be back, especially back towards Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, and for you folks here in the Carolinas. You know, obviously up north, but ice is going to be a big issue. Power outages is a high concern right now. Most likely going to happen to somebody. This could become a catastrophic event for somebody, depending on how severe this storm is. Ice is going to be seriously a strong problem. As we fast forward towards next weekend, like just about a week away, we are facing around the southern and the Gulf states and southeast a potential winter storm. Now, I'm gonna say that's gonna happen. We're coming into February and seeing snow in the Carolinas in February if it's outside of the mountains. I don't bang on that, especially if you live in the coastal parts of the Carolinas. So I just wanted to hit on that as well. If you guys didn't know, you probably hear rumors about that too. But I'm not. It hates for me to say it because I like winter weather. I'm a big winter weather fan. But I just don't think that's going to be a good thing. I would say most of eastern North Carolina counties, though, I'm saying that because I live in eastern North Carolina, a lot of those counties would probably see a glaze look like, but not much. But any rain, we're going to mainly get rain. But any rain I do drop, I do expect to freeze at night because the temperature is going to be so cold. In the teens potentially, depending on where you're at. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. So let me show you the latest outlook that is going on right now for watches, warnings, and advisories that was issued today. Currently it is 4:25 Friday, January 23rd, 2026. So we are almost in February, guys. Can you believe that? Literally almost in February. This so far been an active year. I would not rule out there being a hurricane making landfall somewhere this year in the United States. Last year, I don't think the East Coast had a hurricane landfall at all, or a tropical storm. So we all kind of dodged a bullet from Florida to the Carolinas. However, it was a good thing because if you give y'all a little backstory before I get into the National Weather Service. Most of you guys know, everybody know about the situation with Helene, how she messed up western North Carolina. But you guys know that kind of was a blessing for no hurricane to make landfall in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. It's not hard to ride up the coast, and you have another event like that happened in western North Carolina. So I'm pretty sure western North Carolina learned their lesson. Till this day, and that was just a few years ago. Till this day, western North Carolina is still recovering from Hurricane Helene. She was a deadly hurricane. I think she actually I think when she made it to North Carolina, she was a tropical storm, but there's so many mountains up there. I think they elevation, probably 3,000, 4,000 feet. For the mountains of North Carolina, so it's pretty high up there. When you're getting consistent rain like that, it's gonna cause some issues. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the latest watches, advisories, and warnings from the National Weather Service across America. So here is the latest update from the National Weather Service. Again, this is the latest update from the National Weather Service, and this is what they have right here when you first enter the screen. Significant, enter the site. Sorry about that. Significant winter storm will bring heavy snow and ice impacts, dangerously cold temperatures expands across the east. So it reads, a significant long duration winter storm will bring widespread heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain from the southern Rockies to New England through Monday. Widespread travel disruptions, prolonged power outages, and vast tree damage is likely. Frigid temperatures, gusty winds, and dangerous wind chills will expand from the north central U.S. to the southern plains, Mississippi Valley, and Midwest. So the pink right here, as you guys see, this is an overview of the National Weather Service current winter advisory, warnings, AM watches that is still in effect, or is taking shape to become in effect. So all the pink you guys see is winter storm warnings back from New Mexico all the way up to the northeast. So I would say the Texas, you guys should be getting it as you guys are watching this video. If you come across it, Oklahoma will not rule you guys out either. Parts of New Mexico do not rule you guys out either for seeing winter weather at all. You guys are under winter storm warnings, you guys in New Mexico. Then we go to Arkansas. Most of Arkansas, except like 4 counties, is under a winter storm warning. The other 4 counties along the Louisiana border and Mississippi state line will be ice storm warnings. That's in the purple, as you guys see in the little color category right here. So we go into northern Alabama. You guys are also under winter storm advisories. I do expect that to turn into an ice storm warning eventually, maybe a winter storm warning. Northern Mississippi, you guys are under ice storm warning. Northern Georgia, you guys are under an ice storm warning. Northeastern or northwestern South Carolina, you guys are also under ice storm warning. Southwestern North Carolina, even look like including the Charlotte area, is under ice storm warning. East Tennessee, parts of an ice storm warning and a winter storm warning, and a winter weather advisory. I do see Tennessee to switch a little bit. A good chunk of North Carolina is under an ice storm warning. Eastern North Carolina is currently sitting at winter weather advisory. All of Virginia, ice storm warning. West Virginia, ice storm warning. West Virginia and Virginia is under winter storm warnings. My bad. Pennsylvania, you guys are under a winter storm warning. New York is under a winter storm warning. New York City is under a winter storm warning. So you guys see the drift right here. A lot of winter storm warnings is in effect right now from New Mexico all the way up to the northeast. So you guys need to take action right now. Make sure you're prepared. Stay off the road as much as possible. If I did not mention right here, but East Texas is under ice storm warning for a few counties there. So you guys need to take action. Stay off the road no matter what vehicle you drive. I strongly do not recommend you getting on the road. You could drive a truck. You could drive a Jeep or something like that. You could drive something that is meant for that type of weather. But however, no matter what vehicle you have, it's not safe to be out on the road, because just because you're out on the road, there's always going to be that one person that will be on the road and have their life at risk and your life at risk. This is not a situation that you should play around with, especially folks back in Texas, Tennessee, northern Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, Oklahoma. You guys need to stay really vigilant and do what is told to you. If they say stay indoors, stay indoors. This is not going to be no joke to go out, play around in the snow and ice. It's going to be frigid temperatures. Y'all, I will not rule out one of these states out of this winter storm. It's going to be below freezing for actual temperatures, not wind chills. I'm talking about probably -5 degrees. I would not rule out some states, or at least one state, having that issue. And power outages is a big concern right now, and most likely what happened across the south. And I would not rule out the northeast either, heading up north. So you guys need to be very, very careful. If you live in a state or you live somewhere where just a slight thunderstorm can take out the power, what do you think about an inch of ice would do to a power line? Like that'll cause some issues, and it's gonna be windy according to experts. So it's gonna have a nice breeze to it, so it's gonna be feeling a lot colder, and anything that drops once the storm passed through, you guys, if the temps don't get above freezing, the temps is gonna literally keep everything on the ground, solid snow, solid ice. It's not going anywhere. So you guys are going to need to be very, very careful. If you're getting rain and you look at your low temperatures and it's going to be cold, the rain most likely going to freeze into ice or black ice, especially folks that's in the Eastern Carolinas, both of them, South Carolina and North Carolina. Eastern South Carolina, North Carolina, like it'll mainly be a rain event eventually when the ice just move on out. It's not going to be like a lot or anything like that, unless there's like a little change or something like that. It would have been a lot more, but it looked like we ran into a cold air problem, especially here in Eastern North Carolina. That is a good thing and then a bad thing for you winter weather fans like me. I'm kind of bummed out. Won't be seeing much winter weather, but it's just a thought that count. Seeing like Saturday night is going to be the best bet to see winter weather, because the low is going to be so cold for Eastern North Carolina. However, we also was saved at the same time, because ice, if I'm not mistaken, is worse than snow. So I mean, we was kind of in a big ice storm at the beginning when these models was constantly picking this up. So You guys need to stay vigilant out there. Be very careful. Listen to your radios. You make sure you have a source. Ways to stay warm. Make sure your generators and stuff is where they're supposed to. They're running properly and they're in a safe environment, so you don't have any issues. Because if you call medical, if you need a medical or emergency or something like that, it's gonna take a bit for first responders to reach your location. Because if you don't know, first responders, there's videos out there as well. During storms like these, first responders still slip and slide, and ambulances and fire trucks, they still slide and stuff. So that's gonna be quite a tough one. No matter if you have snow tires or anything on your vehicles, I do want to hit on that. This seemed like it might work for some of you guys, but I don't think it's going to work too much. So just be careful, and his best bet is just to stay home, because you're always going to have them people, or at least one person, that's going to go out on the road, not thinking, and they're in a little Honda Accord or something and start sliding everywhere. So guys, you're just gonna have to be very careful out there. Prayers out to all you guys that's gonna be majorly affected from Texas all the way up north. My prayers are especially going out to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, here in the Carolinas. And I didn't say Tennessee. So you guys need to be very, very careful. Stay vigilant. I can't stress that enough. And with that being said, I will keep you guys up to date. There will be another update most likely tomorrow, to tell you guys what news and stuff been coming out about this winter storm, what has changed, what's been upgraded from advisories to warnings, or what's been upgraded from watches to advisories, or something like that. I will let you guys the latest. If something significantly changed or happened, don't worry, your boy right here got you covered. I'll be keeping an eye out on this storm very closely. I've been keeping an eye on this storm since it was picking up on it when Georgia, Alabama, and parts of Florida got snow this past weekend. So you guys are going to need to stay very vigilant. I've been paying attention to this storm for a bit now personally, so I'll keep you guys up to date. If something massively changed, you folks down there in Florida, y'all gonna be chilling, especially Miami. You guys gonna be chilling with let's see, I think 80-degree temperatures on one day. Y'all gonna be in the mid 70s, so y'all gonna be chilling. But you keep coming a little further north, and you're gonna start north of Florida, you're gonna start running into that winter weather problem. You guys that's in states that's gonna get a lot of ice and stuff, I'm gonna use North Carolina for example, because I live here. You folks on eastern North Carolina, it's strongly not advised to drive up towards Raleigh or go to Fayetteville or Charlotte or anything like that. Anywhere west of eastern North Carolina, like central part of the state in western North Carolina, if you live there, or if you guys are just trying to travel through and stuff, I do not recommend going there, because travel will be impossible or very hard to get through, okay? Especially along I-40 and I-95 going through North Carolina is not recommended to hit those interstates or any back roads at all, because it's going to be extremely dangerous, impossible to drive, and this could become a deadly situation if you decide to do that. So you live in eastern North Carolina, you don't have nowhere to go, advise you to stay in your county or along eastern North Carolina. But I really advise you to stay in your county so you know what's exactly going on and stuff like that. And listen to your local National Weather Service, or listen to the National Weather Service for your local stations, so you guys can be up to date. So with that being said, I know this is kind of like a little long video, but I just wanted to drive this because this is crazy. This potentially could be a historic, most likely going to become a historic winter storm that ripped across the Midwest, well, the South, the Southeast, and on its way up north. So with that being said, well, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified each and every time your boy uploads a new video. And with that being said, it's your boy Randy right here, out.